started this thing off, I made the comment about how, we need to make this an annual thing. Well, 2 years, if that's a coincidence, 3 years is becoming a pattern, and so hopefully we'll be able to make it a fourth next year. So we'll see. But to really get us going tonight, to kick us off officially, I do want to welcome up to the stage the Vice Chairman of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, Miss Linda Capps.
Thank you, Chris, and good evening. I hope everybody has a good time tonight because I think we're going to. And I thank you for being here, and we're going to honor the team tonight. I am excited that we're getting ready to start the new season, and I understand that we're going to make it 4 this year. So I have heard so much in the community about us playing ball and getting ready to play ball, and everybody is excited. I think that probably about 5 times a week somebody says something to me, are we getting ready to play ball? And I say, yes, we are. And so it is very exciting. I am from Hera, that's a community not far from here. And I was fortunate when I was in high school, my brother-in-law played professional basketball. And so if you love the game like my family did, we loved basketball so much. And there I was, a high school student in my sophomore year, playing basketball, and my brother-in-law was a professional basketball player. So you couldn't touch me with a 10-foot pole because I thought that I was something. In my senior year, he came and was the athletic director had him come down and be our guest speaker for the banquet, for the athletic banquet. And so that was so exciting to me. I have loved basketball all my life, and it was real exciting when I thought that we're going to have some professionals come to Shawnee, Oklahoma and play ball. And we did, and we still have them here. And so we're excited about that. Whatever the tribe can do to make these young men comfortable and for them to have a good time. Playing basketball is having a good time. And I'm going to read a few pointers, the characteristics of a good player. And that's what you guys are. You're good players. And you've proven that 3 times, and I hope we prove it 4 times. One thing that they have to have is discipline. It's very, very important to be disciplined when you're a good athlete. You have to be disciplined in order to be a good athlete. Team orientation. Great players prioritize team success over personal glory. That's kind of hard to do when you're really good and you can take all the glory each time, each shot. But it's better to prioritize and not get the glory every time. Leadership. You can't be a good ball player unless you're a good leader. You have to motivate your teammates, set high standards, and lead by example. Mental toughness. Mental toughness involves the ability to stay composed under pressure, bounce back from setbacks, and maintain a positive attitude despite adversity. Number 5, adaptability and versatility. The ability to adapt to different situations and roles is another hallmark of a great basketball player. Sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship is vital for a player's reputation and team dynamics. Communication skills. Effective communication is crucial. Split-second decisions and teamwork are key. Physical conditioning. Physical conditioning is the foundation of a player's ability to perform at high level. Passion and love. And I think that this is one of the most important. You have to have passion and love for the sport. And I think that our boys do. When we see them on the floor, you can tell that they have passion for the game. It's a great thing to see passion and love in an athlete. Resilience and perseverance. Basketball, like all sports, involves ups and downs, but resilience and persistence, players continually work to overcome difficulties and strive to reach their full potential. So would you young men stand up so we can applaud you for being the kind of athlete that you are? Because if you were not a good athlete, an excellent athlete, you would not be playing for the Potawatomi Fire. Have a great team this year.
Thank you very much, Ms. Capps. So before we eat, I do want to just say a little blessing for this food. So if you would, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and the opportunity that we have to come together and just enjoy this time of celebration. Lord, thank you for this food. Please bless those who made it. And God, we also pray that as we enter this season of Lent, we just remember the sacrifice that your Son Jesus Christ made, coming down from heaven to live on this earth and live a perfect life before dying on the cross for our sins. We thank you not only for that sacrifice, but also his resurrection 3 days later on Easter, ultimately defeating sin and death. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. All right, so time to go grab some food. We have a buffet set up kind of in the back, and then if you would like a drink from the bar, that is on the back table right next to some of our new merchandise. So have at it, and I will be back up here in a few minutes. Enjoy. individual awards, you know, I think if you talk to these players, and Ms. Capps, you touched on it a little bit, there's that selfless attitude that comes with a good team. You know, all of these guys want team success first. They want to be here getting championship rings. They want to win as many games as they possible, but they also know too that with team success will eventually come some of those individual awards as well. And the Fire were lucky enough last season to have several individual award winners. Now, we do have a couple of guys that aren't here tonight that did win some awards. I did want to recognize them. First was KT Bockham. KT joined the Fire a few weeks into the season. He started off with CYM, and he was leading the TBL in scoring, averaging, I think, over 44 points per game. Came to the Fire, knew that he was going to have to accept a smaller role, and did as part of that sacrifice that Ms. Capps mentioned. And he still ended up coming off the bench and winning the Sixth Man of the Year award because he did have that kind of impact on games, even though he was willing to accept that smaller role. So we did want to recognize him. And then also another guy we wanted to recognize tonight is Ricky Artis II as the playoff MVP. And Ricky, everybody knows Ricky. He's a showman. But I think the thing that a lot of y'all don't see with Ricky is the hard work that he puts in during practice. And yes, he's always going to have fun. He's always going to add that little bit of flair that Ricky likes to add. But at the same time, when you need somebody to step up in those big moments, he will do that. He's also one of the big leaders on this team, willing to kind of put his arm around some of the younger guys, help teach, and kind of be a little bit of a mentor and a big help, I know, to the coaching staff, to some of the players, especially the players who are still trying to kind of figure things out if it's early in the season. So did want to go ahead and recognize those guys. Ricky, by the way, he'll be back. He's just he's not here right now, but he's finishing up a season overseas. He should be back, I think, next week to rejoin the team and get ready for the start of the season. So now as we get to the award winners that were able to be here tonight, I do want to welcome up Fire General Manager David Qualls to help present a couple of these rings. So the Fire success, I think it's safe to say, David, started really, had a good first season, but really 3 years ago when Coach Danoff came to the Fire. He has been just the catalyst, I think, for this team. 84-5 record with the Fire, and just has really, just been a phenomenal coach and established himself as the best coach in TBL. And he once again won Coach of the Year. And so with go ahead and present Coach Danoff with his Coach of the Year ring.
Now, don't get too excited. It looks just like the last two.
That's right, the three-time now TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danoff. And now along with Coach Danoff, the Fire really took things to the next level when a few people came to the Fire with them. Guys like Ricky Artis, who I mentioned, Katie Moore joined the Fire with Coach Danoff. But the guy who's really led this team and been the guy for the Fire is Chuck Guy. His first year here won Defensive Player of the Year. Probably should have won MVP that year, but Defensive Player of the Year. Last year he did win MVP, and this past season he won MVP as well, making him TBL's first ever two-time MVP award winner. And Chuck, he has the numbers. If, Chuck, you want to go ahead and make your way up to the stage. Chuck has the numbers to justify the MVP award, but even more than just the numbers, it's his leadership and his ability to just know where guys are supposed to be and get everybody in position and really lead the team. I think Coach Danoff said multiple times that this team goes as Chuck goes, and that's true, and it was true last year for sure. Chuck, do you have enough fingers for all those rings? And now I think Coach Danoff had a few words that he wanted to say.
Hold on, I got one of these too. Every year, you get up here and you walk away and you say, "Oh, I forgot." You know, I feel like those award shows, and everyone tries to fit it in before the music starts playing. So hopefully the music doesn't start playing here too soon. But first of all, good evening to everybody. Thank you for being here. You know, I was sitting there at the table and I'm thinking, this is like Sunday afternoon after church with family, where we all get together and have a meal and we talk about all the wonderful things going on in our life. And certainly this has to be one of them for me. But I also know that everybody in here loves the fire, enjoys the fire, and really comes out and supports us every night. And I've said it many times that there's games that just aren't going our way sometimes, and you guys are the reason that help us turn it around. You energize us, you empower us, and it helps us finish the game and end up on the right side of the column. You know, I kind of like Chris. You know, we came here and we thought we could win a TBL national championship, and we did that. And then to turn around and do it again and again, that first one was special, and certainly the second one was historic, you know. But I think the third one really tells the story about who we are and what we do and how we do it, you know. We got a group of young men who always buy into the culture. In fact, I was thinking about it today, they are the culture. And the fact that they truly care about each other, they have relationships that go well beyond the basketball court, they're friendships that last well beyond their time with the fire, that there will be lifetime relationships, that they will stick together and have conversations and attend weddings and call each other when they have children, and as they get older, talk about the good old days. So I think it's really special what's going on here right now. First, I'd like to start out by thanking, is the chairman here? Not here? Okay. But obviously, Chairman Rocky Barrett and Vice Chairman Linda Capps, something I've said a million times, that you have to have great leadership to be successful in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And without those two right at the top, providing us with the resources and the support and the foundation to what this is all about, we couldn't be where we are, so thank you very much. So. And then where's David? Back there. David Qualls, our general manager. You know, we sit down and, you know, he starts thinking about the roster for next year before I even do, you know, and he's constantly not only focused on the fire in terms of who we can get and what pieces we need to be successful, and he builds a roster of high-character young men who come here and help us succeed. Heck, he's scouting teams before I am and talking about what everybody else has before I even know what's going on. So the things he does behind the scenes that helps make all this possible. So, you know, thank you. So grateful, David Qualls. Now, they say it takes a village, so I got a lot of people to thank here tonight. So I hope nobody has a show or anything they need to see at a certain time. Real quick, Emmanuel Tony, my assistant coach throughout my entire pro career, played for me in college, but the passion that he brought every day, the relationships he helped build that culture. I couldn't be more grateful for all your effort, all your hard work, your commitment to helping us get where we need to go. And Manny is now coaching over at Tecumseh, and so really proud of him. I was just telling him a story, and I hate to go on, but I ran into a girl the other day, and she goes, "You know Coach Manny?" And I said, "I know him a little bit." I said, "Why is that?" I said, "Man, everybody loves Manny." I said, "Well, do you play basketball?" She said, "No." I said, "Do you have him for class?" "No." I said, "So how do you know?" "Oh, I know everybody loves Manny." So just speaks to the volume of the kind of person Manny is. So that's, I wanted to bring that up. Before I get to the players, there's a couple people. Taylor, our trainer. Where's Taylor? There every day, keeping us together, taping us together, making sure that we have the things we need, our treatment, preventing injuries, and then taking care of injuries as they come. So thank you. Dr. Phillips, over here. Dr. Phillips, I forget how you said it in the meeting the other night, but you're there to get us prepared for the things that we're about to take on physically and mentally. And this guy, I can call him and say so-and-so needs something, and he's there. So he's the guy that keeps our bodies ready and our bodies prepared for what we're about to do. So thank you, Dr. Phillips. All these people, without them, we couldn't be as successful as we are before. I forgot this person last year, and I told him afterwards I was extremely sorry about it, but Chris Cox, the voice of the Fire, best commentator in the entire league, in my opinion. But always comes down to practice. Really enjoy having him around practice and being around. So he deserves the credit as well as being a major piece of this organization. The players, the true heart of this organization and team, they are the ones that go out and put in all that hard work on the floor to compete nightly. And that's one thing I say, we are going to compete. I've never met a group of guys that go out and compete at the highest level every single night. Losing's not even something that crosses their mind. They're going to go out and they're going to play together and they're going to do it at the highest level. I told these guys in the meeting the other night, I've said it pretty much all off season, the sacrifices that they make, whether it be family or in basketball, they put all the personal accolades aside so that they can do something, bigger and have a better result as a team and do something successful that's bigger than themselves by winning a championship. And that may or may not happen, we don't know, but we certainly work towards it. But I can say this, every night doesn't always go the way you think it's going to go. We have amazing fans who help us through those tough times at home. But it's those relationships that they have with each other that helps them when we're on the road or even at home that get through those tough nights to be successful. And I know there were many times last year, throughout the year, that we won the game because of our relationships. Not just because we were a talented team or a very good team, but because of the relationships. The one that pops out the most is going to Montana that first game and struggling. Just couldn't put the ball in the hole. But they stuck together, they continued to grind, they had faith in each other. And they weren't going to quit. And I remember Chuck coming to the sideline many times late in the game, no matter how close we got and it got pushed back. We are not losing this game. And they were on board. And they managed to pull it out. So really proud of who they are and what they do every day for us. As much as we enjoy watching them play, they're even better people than players. So credit to the players, and so grateful to get to work with them every single day. To our fans, sponsors, the community of Shawnee and area, I can't say enough for all your support, your investing in the vision, investing in these young men, investing in the organization. The fact that you're here tonight is just another example of who you are and how much support you give us. I already mentioned about the things you do for us. We're on the court, but we really enjoy playing for you. We really do enjoy playing for you and providing you with that understanding that we are your team. We are your team. So when you're outside, have you seen our team play? We are your home team. So it's exciting, and we appreciate your support every step of the way. There's some people I want to mention that don't get mentioned all the time. Special thanks to Ray. Where's Ray? Doris. Mark Hafner, all the way in the back there. Guy Chamblin. Max. Is Mike here? And you'll meet, I don't think Hillary's here, but you'll meet her as well. But, you know, we just couldn't accomplish the things we're doing without them. They always have us ready to go, whether that's Mark feeding the guys, whether that's the rest of the crew having everything ready for game night or practice or whatever it may be, whether that's through uniforms or the court or whatever it may be. All the stuff you guys do behind the scenes, so grateful to have you, and we couldn't do it without you. Finally, not last but least, but finally, my wife Chantal. She thinks she's the coach. Sometimes I let her be the assistant coach. Sometimes she thinks she's the head coach. But her support, and she's a big ambassador of myself, and because of her, I'm allowed to do this. And I couldn't be more grateful with that. I get the opportunity to go home, and if I need to talk, she's going to sit there and listen. She's going to give advice. She doesn't like it when I don't like the advice, but at the same time, most of her advice is really good. A lot of times she likes to give me what to say at pregame talk and things like that. But at the end of the day, none of this happens without her. And all the victories, all the wins, you know, she was my biggest win. So 3 championships in a row are rare. We're certainly going to try to do something even bigger than that. It's all been special, but these guys are building a legacy. Their legacy's already built, but the things that they have done, and now this new team is going to go out and try to do something even more incredible, more amazing, and entertain you at the highest level. So I just want to thank you for being a part of the entire journey all these years.
Thank you, Coach, and thanks just again, as he said, to everybody for your support. Just having this place packed every single game is truly unique in TBL. The fans make this place the best home court in all of TBL. The Fire have won now, I want to say it's 54 consecutive games here inside Fire Lake Arena. Under Coach Danoff, they've never lost inside Fire Lake Arena, and it just has become the most difficult place to play in TBL. Now, one thing that does make basketball great and makes Fire Lake Arena great is everything that goes on beyond just the play on the court. The play on the court is great. We've seen that over the past 3 years with 3 straight championships, but everything else that goes on around it makes it great as well. And one of the big things with entertainment and one of the big draws I know for a lot of fans, especially the younger fans, are the Fire Girls. The Fire Girls, they have, since the Fire started, the Fire Girls have been a crucial part to the in-game experience here at Fire Lake Arena. The first year of the Fire, they were the best dance team in TBL. Then in 2023 and 2024, they were the Central Conference best dance team. Last year, they reclaimed that mantle as the best dance team in all of TBL, and they greatly deserved it, and I know that they're going to have a great chance to defend that title this year. I do want to go ahead and welcome up to the stage Bailey Hall, the director of the Fire Girls, as we get to the introduction of the Fire Girls and the presentation of their rings. And ladies, as we call y'all's name in alphabetical order, just after you get your ring, stay up here and we'll take pictures and do all that kind of fun stuff. Bailey, here's your ring first. There you go. All right. Sure. Just stand right over there and then their rings are right there in alphabetical order. All right. So here we go. Up first, we have Audrey Gaines. And since these girls have a little bit of a ways of a walk, I'm just going to kind of start running through them a little bit. Up next, Ostella Gallagher. Bethany Rodriguez. Brooklyn Casto. Danielle Quinnett. Jasa Gardner. Kylie Hayes. Lily Jornod. Marley Affendranger. Team Captain Marissa Rake. And then finally, Taryn Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, the best dance team of the year, the 2025 Potawatomi Fire Girls. And I know, Bailey, you've already named the team for this coming season, and a lot of these girls I know are going to be back as well. So we're looking forward to another exciting season from the Fire Girls. I want to welcome back up to the stage now Potawatomi Fire General Manager David Qualls to help present the rings to the 2025 TBL champion, Potawatomi Fire. So up first, we will go ahead and bring Coach Danoff back up. I know he just sat down, but come back on up. Come and get your ring, Coach. And then again, since some of y'all have longer walks, we'll go ahead and get going with kind of run through some more of these guys. So after Coach Danoff, we do want to bring up athletic trainer Taylor Williams. Team Doctor Justin Phillips. Assistant Coach Emmanuel Toney. Forward, Jay Hedgeman. Forward, Isaiah Wade. We got things dropping all over the place. And then finally, your TBL MVP, Chuck Guy. He's got pinkies. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Potawatomi Fire. TBL champion, Potawatomi Fire. And now, if the players and Manny and Coach, if y'all could stay up here for a second. Since the Fire were formed, we've been lucky to have the support of CPN's leadership, and Coach Danoff talked about that when he spoke. One of the biggest champions of the Fire is Vice Chairman Linda Capps. Ms. Capps and Chairman Barrett, they're at pretty much every home game. They're sitting right there on the floor at half court. And Ms. Capps is always cheering loud. She enjoys watching these guys play. You heard her talk. She loves basketball, and we are so thankful for her support. And we wanted to recognize Ms. Capps as well and present her with a special pendant that has the same face as the player's ring, which I think we have a slide of the player's ring, if Jonathan can throw that up there real quick. But Ms. Capps, if you'll come on upstage. Scooch to the middle. Scooch to the middle. Do what? Let me introduce the new players. Ms. Capps, thank you very much for your support. Guys, stay up here. I do want to go ahead and introduce, since we have them here, outside of Ricky Artis, I want to go ahead and introduce the 2026 Potawatomi Fire. So, guys, when I call your name, call them on up. We'll start with two of the guys that are far in the back, since they have a little bit of ways to walk. And I do want to welcome back to the Fire Katie Moore and TJ Maston. They got a little bit of a walk, so guys, get... And now moving to some of the guys a little bit closer up, we want to welcome to the Fire Cam Williams. Cam was actually the 2025 TBL Rookie of the Year. So welcome to the Fire, Cam Williams. Jeremiah Gilliam. Johnny McCants. Jamal McMurray, who a couple years ago was TBL's leading scorer. And then finally, we want to welcome Willie Warren up to the stage. And then to go along with all the players, and then, of course, imagine Ricky Artis as well up here, we do want to welcome the new assistant coach for the Potawatomi Fire, and that's Kendrick Bryson. And now to close us out, I do want to hand the microphone over to General Manager David Qualls.
Howdy. Well, what a ride it's been, I'll tell you. And Danoff touched on it a little bit earlier. We played our first year without him, and he beat us every time we played him. I think he gave us one, and that was it. And we knew we needed to do something different, and he was the guy to do it. But we went to the playoffs, and we thought, man, that's a great first season. Second season, we come in, and we dominated, and we won. And how gracious and how honorable that was. Hey, we won a championship. Never dreamed you could do it back-to-back. You knew what it was. To win a back-to-back is definitely saying something, and we were just enamored. I don't have a lot of adjectives today. Then we never talked about this three-peat thing. We just kept winning, kept playing. People kept ringing the phone, calling, what do I got to do to be on the Fire? And we're looking at their stats and going, that's the kind of guy we're looking for. You know, we lost this guy overseas. We lost this guy. And it just kept building, and it's 3. Now, everybody knows I'm an old wrestling fan. So, you know, if you now going for 4, there ain't none of that humility crap with it now because we got the bragging rights. And if you know anything about Ric Flair, what they say of him, Ric Flair says, if you don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going, and that's the Potawatomi Fire. But these guys understand because, and the new guys who have been here this week, seeing the environment that we have and the things that we do that have played on other teams, realize that this doesn't happen without our fans and our sponsors. And we want to thank each one of you that just took a night out here in February, spent $50 to come and be here and help us celebrate. On top of being fans, on top of buying merchandise, which our new merchandise is for sale in the very back, on top of the annual Chuck Guy fish fry that's once again on his birthday on the 27th of February. Be sure and buy a ticket because that's good catfish. But we can't do it without you. And I'm telling you, I had an opportunity today to actually watch the 2 best teams in TBL scrimmage and work out since workouts have started. And I looked over at Danoff and I said, you know, I'm watching the 2 best teams in TBL, and that's the white team and the blue team out here scrimmaging. Because I'm telling you, go back to that Ric Flair and that Arn Anderson, what's causing all this. There isn't anybody in these other 38 teams in this league can touch these 10 guys that are out here on the court. I mean that seriously. And they're cohesive. I saw something, I'm going to brag on them for a little bit because I don't get a chance to do that. They were working in practice today, and one of the players who just tore us up last year shooting threes was over there in that corner with the 3 fixing to take a shot. He had the ball. His shot was wide open, and he figured he needed to throw it to somebody else because, you know, we do a deal. We pass the ball around. You know, there's no hogs on this team. And everybody stopped, and Chuck Guy said, if the shot's open, take it. We don't play that game here. And Cam Williams, the Rookie of the Year, right there, we're going to see some big things from him. Another one of those lights-out shooters that I think he put 40 on us here, Coach, one night, is Jamal McMurray. We hunted him last year, but he was overseas making a star for himself. Jamal McMurray's here, so you're going to see some air raids from these guys. Then one of the quietest big guy power forwards that's just smiling, and you just don't think he's got what he's got until you see him peel them green sweats off, and this kid's as ripped as Hedgeman is. And he plays like a wildfire, and that's Jeremiah Gilliam. Now, I'm going to brag on this guy right here because he's kind of royalty to me. Of course, you know, being a Sooner fan, anybody that's a Sooner remembers back when Blake Griffin was there, but his right hand was a guy named Willie Warren, who was from Crowley, Texas, right? The 10th ranked high school player in the nation when he was in high school, a McDonald's All-American, played for the Sooners for 3-4 years, second-round draft pick for the LA Clippers. When his NBA tenure was done, he went to Israel, Iran, China, Venezuela, all over the world. And I had the opportunity to meet Willie this summer, and he played with us on the TBT team. And you talk about a Einstein of basketball IQ, maturity. Willie is the guy. You're going to look forward to seeing Willie. The kids are going to love Willie. I've watched him play today and yesterday, and just some of his moves just blow me away that he anticipates and knows he's fitting right in with this team really well. And so we really look forward to seeing Willie play. Boomer Sooner, as Poe Bill would say. And one of the most gratifying things that can happen to you, and all you parents out here know this, is when your kids grow up and they decide that, well, I think I want to leave home because there's something better to do, then they come back. And I'm touched and I'm happy and I'm excited that K.D. Moore is back. When K.D. Moore left, I was angst over it. I was mad. K.D. Moore left over $100 damn. And Paul Harrison, who was the grand old man of the team at that time, and I'll touch on Paul for a minute, he said, Mr. Qualls, sometimes they just got to go see that grass ain't so green on the other side. Well, I sure am glad he's back. And hello, there we go. Next one in this group, and he reminds me of so much of me when I was young, and Ron McClure, you'd understand that, is T.J. Maston. He is the bull of the woods. He's going to wear number 13 this year because he's bad luck for everybody that goes up against him. And I want to make them know that. So that's what I want to say about our team real well, and I think that's really great. I also want to say, just a quick shout out to my friends and family, but I want to introduce somebody that's not basketball related, but he is a platinum selling songwriter and artist. He sold out a part of the crew of the Oklahoma State Cowboys State, whatever that team is over there, their stadium, in a big concert this year. He was recently inducted 2 times, once individually and once with his other touring group, in the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, and he's a Fire fan. I've known him since he was a little wide-eyed kid sitting up high going to get them chocolate squares on Saturday morning with his dad and his brother. And he'd come in and get the Reuben with no crowd at Dave's Sandwich Shop, right? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mike McClure. It's really humbling to be able to talk about this. And the Fire Girls never dreamed what would happen with a dance team. These girls are all professionals in every aspect. They work out hard. They all come from a disciplined background. They have took a lot out of their time and made a lot of sacrifice just to be Fire Girls because we don't have a lot of money to pay them. Matter of fact, if you see them at the games and you like them, slip them a 20. It's okay. But we don't give them enough credit, and it's hard for me to give them credit and the credit due, but these girls will do anything we ask them to do, these ladies, I'm sorry, and we're so proud of them, and they've gone on. Some of them they're national champions with their OBU dance stuff. They're headed for that again, some of them are. Some of them have went on to be Fire Girls. Lily, all that pre-video that they do before they come out, Lily did all that. So, they do a little bit of everything, and we're so proud of them. We're so proud that Bailey Hall worked so hard to do this, to be their dance instructor. Because when we started this, and I talked to Honesty, who had the dance deal, I said, I need to have a dance team. And she was like, okay. And I'm like, all right, we'll see. Now, if you go to these other teams, and I know some of them are watching us because we're streamed right now live on YouTube, your girls can't hold no candle to our girls. We don't need no body shop for these girls. So put these Fire Girls over again one more time. So I was wearing a goofy coat and slacks about 38 years ago tonight. Yeah, that was down there on 118 West Washington at the Full Gospel Church. And I got married, and we've been together ever since. It's been 38 years of pain, blues, and agony, as I say, but as long as she's got the checkbook, everything is going okay. And I've said it before and all, but, Coach talked about Chantal being a coach. Chris knows 10 times more about basketball than I do. And she starts trying to tell me what to do, and you guys that are around me know how that works. But I got to put over my wife tonight and say happy anniversary. KD, if you'll help me out here. I also have a pendant for her again. take that back and deal with it. I appreciate you, buddy. And also with KD being back, we get to see his son Cameron with a K and his new son Creed with a K. So, and the Chuck Guy girls are here tonight in the house. Say hi, Kyrie. Yeah, that's the great thing about this family, too. And I know we're going to wrap it up here, and I'm getting a little boring, but this is a family team. Their families are welcome here. They bring their families. They bring their wives. It's just an interesting environment backstage, and it's good. But this can't happen without you. I want to thank again the chairman who couldn't be here tonight, Ms. Capps, who is my #1 fan, always has been. When I needed a fan really hard, she was my #1 fan. And I can't say enough about the great things she's done for everybody. And with that, I want to thank you again. We're going for 4. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your in-laws, tell your ex-in-laws, tell your neighbors you don't like to come down and spend this $12 and buy a ticket to this show because it's the best thing in town. Once again, thank you very much for coming, and we appreciate each and every one of you.